Hello. I don't know what I'm going to say today. I had like a meet and greet with my cousins last night. Sisters. Um, my sisters from my dad's side. Like a meet and greet with my sisters from my dad's side. And then I had a meet and greet with my cousins from this side. And then it was like, how did Alyssa come to this household? And then there was like no movie or whatever. There was just like some like overlays of a party and like I don't know. Max talks about the breeding um, programs, and I think that's what family lines have been a part of for centuries, and whether we acknowledge it or not. And yeah, it's my face on a famous celebrity named Amelia Clark. How did that happen? How did I get so many celebrity clones? How did that happen? You know, I'm just a nobody. Why do I have so many celebrity clone lookalikes? Amelia, Kirsten, Garrett, Hedlund, Leo, Kate's probably in there, Jason Momoa, Margot, Sabrina Carpenter. They're all pretty much my face. It's like, how did that happen? How did that occur? How did the occurrence occur, Andrew? Andrew wants to do a whole 3-hour broadcast on how the occurrence occurs. This morning I saw the town getting bulldozed um, of all my U energy, all my electricity energy. It's like a blue, black, white, electric looking energy. And the whole town got bulldozed from my U energy. The U energy got bulldozed out. The U energy got bulldozed out of them. So I'm wondering how that um, I'm wondering how that is going to affect everyone here. But I think that's why I had a meet and greet with my cousins, my two boy cousins, Keith and Steven, and my siblings, Julie and Andrea, last night because they had acquired U energy and they were simulating a party with them, um, again, to kind of like test the waters. Let's see what will happen. So I think that was probably Keith and Steven's suggestion, like, let's just bulldoze the U energy like right out of us then. If that's what they're going to do to us, if that's what they're going to say she's here for. Um, because Keith and Steven clearly, you know, do not love their cousin, right? That was sarcasm. So, so yeah, my cousins put the kibosh on that. My cousins are like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no, Becky. Hi, my name is Becky, and I am a part of the problem. So, yeah. Um, I don't know what else to say today, really, about it. Apparently, I have a twin brother. Um, he might be from a different dimension. And it might be Chris Evans. And we didn't know that. But then remember I was saying that there was a naked guy in The Last of Us 2, and I never noticed that he was naked before. And I was talking to my friends over walls that I played the game with, and they're like, we would have noticed. We would have noticed if Isaac had a naked man tied to a chair. We would have noticed. We would have said something. We would have said, oh, here comes the naked guy scene again. We would have said that. We would have literally said that, right? We would have literally said that. I'm telling you, I played this game with friends. And we would have been like, oh, here comes the naked guy scene again. Here comes the naked guy. Oh, here comes it. Like, because that's the kind of people we are. And that's like what we would literally say out loud with our mouth. So we agreed that we never saw the naked guy before. He just kind of popped out of nowhere. Anyway, I took a picture of him. There he is. He also looks very familiar. He kind of looks like me. I'm kind of smiling, but when he squints his eyes. So, yeah, the video game's changing and updating, and there's another shot of him with his head down. And Isaac in the video game. I mean, kid friendly, it's like it's a kid's video game, right? But it's like, anyway, that made everybody go nuts last night when I posted it and took a picture of it. That made my little dog had a visceral reaction and had to go outside and take a shit immediately as soon as I took a picture of that, which means it affects my dog, who is an animal. And I think that all animals are made from gene splicing because if they've proven that clones can be made through dogs. then clones can be made through humans. People are cloning people, whether we want to accept it or not. And that would mean that they're also gene splicing um, creatures, animals and humans together. And I think that they created animals from gene splicing. I think the original animals came from human DNA and and manipulating human DNA into creatures that we call farm animals. Um, so I think we've been living a lie, pretty much like I say every single time. And I think that animals are spliced human DNA. And yeah. Um, the U energy started affecting my siblings, and obviously that would mean it's affecting my cousins as well. So there you have it. Um, so we just went ahead and bulldozed that U energy right out of this whole town. So that's probably going to affect the whole world. That's electricity. So do with that information what you will. Um, we're like, why are we here? Right? All I have is my family left, right? Because I went through going to Hollywood and couldn't find Hollywood. So that put up like a red flag. All she has left is her family as well. Right? So there was also the girl that posts the catalog stuff, and she posted children's clothes last night. And if you look up top, it says the onesie is $4.99. I think this is from the 80s, and the onesie in the beneath it is $2.99. So those are more correct prices from the 80s. And so I guess we're switching back and forth timelines. So this timeline's sort of switching back and forth. Of course, this is not a toy, so it's not like we saw the exact same catalog switch back and forth. So it is kind of hard to say that, but it does look like we're switching back and forth on the timelines. I am starting to spin a little bit from acknowledging that. Then there's this candle. Okay, this candle is $9.99, and it says original price is $15.99. So there it says $15.99. It's kind of hard to see, but down here it says it's a special introductory price of $9.99. There. Okay, for this candle. Okay, that's a modern price for a candle. That's a modern price for a candle is $9.99 for that little ceramic, and the original price is $15.99. That would be a sale price, right? It looks like it's about a $15.99 product that we would see today at Home Goods or something like that, and then it's marked down to $9.99. That's how we do it today, but it's a little different. But it's still the same prices. It's still the same pricing, and this is from this. This is from a different catalog, actually. This is from one of her posts, but I think this one's from 1978. 1978 Avon. Okay, so you got a $10 candle from Avon in 1978. Who can afford that? Probably no one. And then you got onesies that are $2.99 and $4.99, the same year basically. So those prices don't match. So the prices are all over the place. The prices of the fucking houses in LA are all over the price too. They said that Hayden's house, I Googled Hayden, okay, and I told you I don't really do that, but I Googled Hayden and it was like his house on like Vogue, interiors or something. And they say he bought his house for $2.2 million in Altadena. And I'm like, My husband bought his house for 2.2 million. That is so low for LA. I'm like, did the prices change when I left LA? Did LA like become a completely different city when I left LA? Because 2.2 million is pretty much affordable. You know, these brushes are $8.50 with this oil. That's expensive for 1978. Why does it say 99 cents? New silk, smooth as silk bath oil. Okay, so the bath oil is 8.50, but I thought it included the brush. Okay, then it says Avon bath brush is also 8.50. Okay, that's what it says here. So I don't know what the 99 cents is. I don't know what the 99 cents each is. Does it come in a pack for 8.50 to distribute? Doesn't really say. Save 251. 99, that's weird, isn't it? Well, it doesn't really say, does it, Becky? Okay, it doesn't really describe it. It just says 99 cents each, save 251. So, I don't know. Okay, so yeah. Um Timeline seem to be switching back and forth. And LA prices, house prices, I just Lana Del Rey bought hers for like 3.2 million. Hayden bought his for 2.2 million. Um, I swear to God, that little house that was shitty was 1.3 million that I looked at, and prices. I remember going to a house in Beverly Hills for Christmas one year, and this was probably back around 2001, which is a long time ago. And that house in Beverly Hills, a small house, but it was a very cute house in Beverly Hills, was $800,000 in 2001, approximately. Okay. So Hayden bought a $2.2 million house in Altadena in 2020. I don't I don't think those prices correlate or coordinate, and I can't talk to my husband and be like, is your like why is your house 2.2 million? Like did y'all like I think LA fell into like a different time zone or a different, you know, space zone when I left because it doesn't I remember cuz okay, hold on. Is that my first cup of coffee? I think it's my first cup of coffee. Um, I saw Hayden on strings last night, so I saw Hayden lost all of his energy. Like I said, I went to Hollywood and looked for them, and I couldn't find any of them that would correlate with Hayden losing his energy. So Hayden lost all his energy, and he was on strings last night, and then he went up. And that happened to Brandon before. That happened to Brandon last year. So I don't get too upset when I see that, okay? Because it just means they're getting an upgrade. Um, but yeah, so the story is that I went to this Christmas party in approximately 2001 because I was dating Rick at the time, and that was around then. And we went to a friend of his house. She worked at what the hell was that name? Resurrection. I think the name of the store that she worked at was called Resurrection in LA. Let me look it up. It's probably not there anymore, but I can still look it up. No, Mom. Yeah, Resurrection Vintage Clothing. Is it still alive? Oh, I don't know if it's just online or Museum Resurrection. Yeah, it looks like it's just online now. But anyway, it's called Resurrection, and you go and you buy like dead stock or vintage clothing. It used to be dead stock, which we like dead stock better. It's like cooler. Because that's all we care about is being cool. But anyway, so she worked at this store called Resurrection in Los Angeles at the time. Um, and she was friends with my boyfriend Rick, and so we went to their Christmas party. I think she was dating Tony Hawk at the time. I think she was dating Tony Hawk at the time, and yeah. So, do you guys know who? Oh no, sorry, not Tony Hawk. Why did I say that? Tony Hawk. Um, he just came to mind. Uh, Tony Alva. Yeah, Tony Alva. That's Tony Alva. Okay, he's a part of Dogtown. Okay, I met Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk. Why do I keep saying Tony Hawk? Tony Alva. Okay, so we were like skaters and surfers. Okay, so anyway, so she was dating Tony Alva at the time, and so we went to their Christmas party at Beverly. In her new, she's like, I got a new house. I bought a new house. Okay, and I think she was the store manager at Resurrection, and I bought a new house, so come over for Christmas, and we're gonna have a Christmas party. And so we went over there, and um, yeah, seems crazy now that we think. But anyway, um, so we went there. We made Christmas ornaments there. It was like very, very wholesome. It was a very wholesome Christmas party. Rick was the owner of a clothing company called Fresh Jive. Okay, y'all probably heard about that clothing company. So my boyfriend at the time, he was the owner of Fresh Jive, and so we went over to this Christmas party. It just feels silly, like being like name drop or whatever. Um, and she was very proud of her house, and she was talking to Rick about buying the house, and she told Rick how the house was $800,000 in a conversation we had in 2001. And I remember that conversation to be like, $800,000, that's a lot of money. At the time, I thought that was a lot of money. But they were like, it was affordable. It was cheap for Beverly Hills. It was only $800,000. Like, I remember that conversation and being like, God damn. Because I was like, how does somebody afford a house in Beverly Hills? That's crazy. And so so you can just Google him if you want to look him up. Rick, owner of Fresh Jive. Okay, it's very easy. You don't even need his last name. You just fucking Google the shit and it'll come up. Okay, stop bugging me about stupid fucking comments. So anyway, so $800,000 in 2001, and Hayden bought a house for 2.2 million in 2022 or something like that. And the inflation is not there anymore. And that's what I read on Vogue Interiors that it cost him. And I'm just like, I don't know. I think LA fell into a different portal where the prices are different, because that's not what I remember when I was out there. Because I showed y'all the freaking tiny little shack that I was looking at. It was 1.3 million, and I sent a picture of it to my mom, and I was like, "Look at these fucking unaffordable prices out here. I'm never gonna be able to buy a house out here. 1.3 million for a goddamn shack, you know?" And so it's like always pricing me out of the market, basically is what I'm trying to say. And then I come back here, and now my mansion was only worth 3.2 million. I'm like, what? That's crazy. That doesn't even make any sense. And Hayden's house was extremely nice, very, very nice for 2.2 million. And it's like this really beautiful house. It's like a sort of like a hidden tree house. You can look it up if you want. Um, it doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. Okay. And it's all wooden, and it doesn't look girly at all. And it was just like I described in my head to him one night. And he was like, why isn't it the pretty house, Alyssa? And I was like, I don't know, Hayden. Why isn't it the pretty house that I would buy for you, Alyssa? Basically, is what he was saying. I have a husband, I have a house, and that's why it's like, this is crazy that I'm still here the end of January 2025. Like, what are we doing? This is crazy. And um anyway, those prices don't add up is what I'm trying to say. You know, there's let's see. Let's look it up now, see if I can find a anyway, yeah, so Tony Alva was like a part of our crew. It's kind of funny. I don't even want to look it up. Mm. Let's see. Okay, so when I left, Hawthorne had affordable houses for $500,000, like tiny little houses in Hawthorne. Um, so these are similar prices. This about like what I would look at. Like this is like normal for Hawthorne. So $600,000 for like a tiny little shack. I like Hawthorne. See, this is 1.13 million in Hawthorne. Hawthorne's like a Hawthorne's like a you know like a regular town. It's like a very regular town, very regular people. Okay, so you got a $1.13 million house in Hawthorne, which it looks like a nice house. Looks like a really nice house actually. But it's in Hawthorne, and Hayden's is in Altadena, and it's only $1 million more. There you go. There's a $1 million shack. Okay, that's a shack in Hawthorne for $1 million. Okay, $800,000. That's a good price. That's a nice looking house in Hawthorne. Those are the prices I'm used to. These are the prices I'm used to. Okay. I like Hawthorne. It's right. You know why I like Hawthorne? Because it's full of very nice people from El Salvador and Mexico, and It's like really close to the beach. It was very close to Mattel. It was like 5 minutes from Mattel, and I need my sleep. And it's like 5 minutes from El Segundo, and there's a El Segundo dog park that I would take my dogs to every weekend. And so I don't know, I just like it. That's a big house for $800,000 in Hawthorne. Okay, see, here you go. Here's a piece of crap house for $600,000 in Hawthorne. That's a piece of crap. You can't see the price. $650,000. I don't know. How's Hayden's house going to be $1 million more than mine? I don't know. That doesn't seem right to me. And like Lana Del Rey's is like, I don't know if her house was bought for $2 million or $3 million, but that doesn't seem right. From what I remember, it's like their houses are like $7 million and up, and ours are like $500,000 to like $1 million. Like that's what I remember living in LA for 20 years and just moving out like a year ago, basically. And now it's like my husband's house was only $1 million more than mine, and he's like this really famous celebrity. I think their houses are like $7 million. That makes sense. Like Spencer's was like he said it was between $1 and $2 million. Like that makes sense because Spencer's like not like a super famous celebrity like Hayden. That doesn't make sense. Why the hell is this one $600,000? This looks like a really nice house. Look at that one. What the fuck is going on with these prices? That one's $600,000, and that looks like a really nice house. I mean, we can look at the inside, but I can't look at the inside without signing in. That doesn't make any sense. Why is that house $600,000? That's a nice house in Hawthorne. These housing prices don't make any sense. There you go. There's a condominium for fucking $1.1 million, but Hayden's house is $2.2 million. It's a fucking condo for $1.1 million in Hawthorne. But Hayden bought his nice house, not a mansion, but a very, very nice ass house in Altadena for $1 million more than a fucking condominium. Look, it has it's 5451 Ocean, number 102. So it's a condo, it's an apartment. And Hayden's house is $1 million more than that. That doesn't make any sense. How does that make sense? I'm saying that the pricing structure is very inconsistent. It's very inconsistent. Hawthorne is like a normal neighborhood. It's not a celebrity neighborhood. Altadena is more of a celebrity neighborhood. Obviously, they live in like a lot of those types of towns. Pacific Palisades, Beverly Hills, blah blah blah, like Laurel Canyon, Hollywood Hills. Those are all like celebrity. Los Feliz, um, Silver Lake. There's a lot of celebrities in Silver Lake as well. They live in Venice as well, Venice Beach, which is close to Hawthorne. Hawthorne is not a celebrity town. It's like a normal person town. Um, so I'm telling y'all, the pricing structure is just not like very inconsistent. Why the hell is that house $600,000? It's a very nice house in Hawthorne. That's a very inconsistent pricing structure. I'm telling y'all, aren't celebrity houses usually like 7 million and more? And then you see like Brad Pitt's like mega mansion for like 30. Let me see, Brad Pitt mansion, $40 million. Okay, I just googled it. Inside Brad Pitt's new $8.3 million Los Feliz, didn't I just say that, home? Okay, so that's where they live. Oh, 8.3 million, and then there's another one that says $85 million Los Feliz mansion. So which one is it? Is it $85 million or is it $8.3 million? That's a huge price discrepancy. They're both from 2023. That's crazy. What the fuck? That doesn't make any sense. Are we living on two different timelines at the same time right now? You know what I mean? Is that Brad Pitt splitting right now, right in front of our face? Because I'll show y'all okay, so it says $8.3 million home, and then if you just scroll a little bit, there's a YouTube about his $85 million mansion, and it says they both say Los Feliz, and it's the same year, April, and they're both, one's posted April 10th and one's posted April 11th, 2023. I think we're watching the split happen. I think it's two different timelines showing up on one timeline right now. I think it's probably like the 3D timeline is the $8.3 million mansion, and the $85 million mansion is the 5D Brad Pitt. That doesn't make any sense. Even if it is the same house, why would that's Vogue Australia. That's a that's a Vogue Australia fucking um uh journalistic piece of journalism. Like I can't think of the word, but $8.3 million is posted the same day. Basically, one's posted April 10th, 2023. That's what I'm saying. Even like, how is that possible? Like that, this they're obviously talking about the same house because it was posted the same fucking day. It was posted one day after the other, so they're posted the same fucking day. You probably go into it, and it might be, I don't even know, but it might be two different houses. But I think that's the timeline split that we're looking at right now, the 3D 5D timeline split, and it's popping up on Google, and we're watching it in real time. So there's two timelines populating in Google's search results. That's crazy. If Brad Pitt living in an $8 million mansion or 85 million, I'm gonna say 85. Okay, that's the timeline I'm from. I'm from 5D, I guess. We tried to recreate 5D again, with me as a quote unquote normal person in graphic design land. And that's the timeline that I'm from, where Brad Pitt lives in an $85 million mansion. Lifestyles of the rich and famous, and they have those shows, and they show their crazy ass mansions and stuff like that. And then they have house tours. It's always like 85 million or something like that. I'm saying my husband, Hayden Christensen, is pretty humble, and I'm saying like I think he would buy like a house, like a nice house for like 7 million. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think my husband's house would be a little bit more, um, you know, more money than my little shack in Hawthorne, California. And Hayden would like it. Oh, it's my little wife's beach shack. Like he wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like that wouldn't be like a natural progression of things. Like, oh, this is his $7 million home, and this is my little artist wife, my little Alyssa's little beach shack, and it's quite lovely, and she's got her dogs, and we love it. And then we got Brad Pitt, who we all know is like the biggest celebrity of all time, and he's got his $85 million mansion in Los Feliz. That's the lifestyles of the rich and famous, and we don't look down upon Brad Pitt, but we just know, like, okay, like he's the biggest celebrity, like he can live like that. It's fine, we don't, but we're just saying, like, that's the type of people we are. And, it's like, okay, cool, we're going over to Brad Pitt's house for a party. Like, we don't look at him any different, but it's like, we know that, like, that's how they live. And, like, we're just like, we're not saying we're like humble to brag or whatever, but, you know, he's got a lot of kids. He's got to have a big house. You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. What is happening to our world? I think that's a 3D 5D split showing up on one timeline. you know, I'm telling you, all the pricing structure is inconsistent, and then I just showed you proof that the timeline is splitting right in front of our face. We're seeing two different timelines on one timeline. I think that's a brother of mine from a different timeline, the one that showed up on Last of Us 2. And I think it was like during the fall, and that he manifested onto that timeline somehow, some way. I don't know how exactly, but somehow he got there to the fall before I did. And we're trying to fill it in with real energy, and you know, rescue our pieces basically. But yeah, I think I'm from the 5D timeline, y'all, and that means that we failed on 5D. Basically, is what it means. Because if we're falling and we're seeing Brad Pitt split right in front of us, that I'm telling y'all that shit would have made me have a panic attack if I watched if I saw all this stuff, I learned all this stuff in 2017, and I googled it and I saw that split happen right in front of my Google. I would be livid. I would be literally having a panic attack, shaking in season right now. I wouldn't be able to cope with that information, and I'd be seasoned if I did that. Like whatever 2017 to 2020, whatever 2021, I would be seasoned. If I googled that and I saw that, I would be seasoned. I'm having a crazy ass panic attack and getting sick and like freaking out. Now I'm just like, wow, it's like the timeline split right in front of our face, and I feel like a lot of y'all don't believe me or something. Like it must be a typo. It's not a typo. How come it's the same date? That's a very popular publication, Vogue Australia. That's a very popular. They would have checked. The pricing structure in LA is not real. That's what I'm saying. You can't always be out of reach of the queen. Like, what's happening? Yeah, it looks like you're trying to take it away from me over and over and over again. And it probably has to do with my popular brother, Silver Surfer, who's my twin brother from a different dimension. A lot of y'all ladies know him and met him. He looks just like me, but he's a boy. Looks like Silver Surfer. You can just Google him. Name's Will. His name's probably Will. Okay? Because I always talk about falling to the will. We got to fall to the will, right? Y'all call it the solar plexus. Okay, you call the chakra the solar plexus. I call it the will. Where there's a will, there is a way. So I don't know. I think his name might be Will. There's, you know what I mean? There's probably a few of them. I think I had to show you both timelines at the same time so that you guys can't say, well, I remember that. Like, I remember the naked man in Last of Us 2, because a lot of y'all are like, well, I remember that. I remember that. It's like, okay, well, that's the timeline you're from. Okay, so that's why I had to show you two timelines on the same timeline to show you there are different timelines, okay? And one is 8.3 million and one is 85 million. I'm from the timeline where Brad Pitt is from $85 million mansion. That's the timeline that I'm from. And I think that's 5D, okay? Because as you go up, the houses get better. Okay, so I'm from the $85 million mansion Brad Pitt. That's my Brad Pitt. That's the one that I grew up with. That's the one that I know is a super movie star. Okay, that's the Brad Pitt that I grew up with. That's the timeline that I grew up on, where Brad Pitt has an $85 million mansion. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, Brad Pitt living in an $8.3 million house. That's a house in LA to me. That's a house. 8.3 million, that's a house. That's a nice house, but it's a house. Okay, that's a lower timeline. That's a 3D timeline. That's a 3D 5D split. Okay, so you want to say that you're from the freaking timeline where you saw Isaac hold up a naked person and you don't remember him ever fully being clothed? That's your timeline. That is your timeline. Okay, I remember him being fully clothed. And that's why I took a picture of it, because if it changes, I'm going to show you the new picture. If we're going up or down. Okay, because the timelines do change all the fucking time. And I don't want to hear it, Becky. I don't want to fucking hear it from you anymore. Timelines do fucking change. And people are from different timelines. Okay? Well, that's how I remember it. Okay, well, that's the timeline you're from, Becky. How many times have I have to say that? I've been saying it all year, last year, MK Ultra. You don't want to listen. Okay, though, that's the timeline I'm from, then, you know, okay, you don't want to listen to me. There are different timelines, and now they're coexisting to prove my point. So keep fighting back, and then it'll keep popping up more and more. As you're making me mad, you think, oh, well, she's just stupid. She just doesn't remember it correctly. No, I'm not stupid. Okay, and I'm from the $85 million timeline, which is 5D, which he was fully clothed in. I would have remembered that, and we would have said it in our group last year. Oh, here comes a naked guy, because that would have stuck out to us, because we're from 5D. Okay, do you understand what I'm saying? We're fallen. We were in 4D last year, and in a bunch of dimensions, but mainly during the day we were in 4D. Okay, so we were starting to fall to 3D last year. Okay, and he was still fully clothed last year, because we would have said something. And if you saw him as naked, if you were one of the people in our groups and you saw him as naked, because you're used to that timeline, you're used to seeing shit like that, you wouldn't have said anything, would you? Okay, so that's how it works. And it's popping out, it's populating. I just Googled Brad Pitt out of nowhere, right? And there it is. There's two timelines peeking through. It's a 3D, 5D split, and we're seeing it on, on this overlapping timeline of both 3D and 5D, okay? Pricing structure is not real. All right, pricing structure of the houses is not real. I've been looking at houses for a long time in LA, and I've been studying their fucking pricing structure for a long time, because I was looking for a house for a long time in LA. I was like, I have to settle down. I need to buy a house, okay? Y'all ready for this? Do, 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 do. You know, how many times does Sebastian Stan celebrity have to say, I'm not that rich, I'm not that rich? I'm not that rich, okay? I'm pretty much a normal person in New York, guys. I'm pretty much a normal person. I'm not that rich. He has said that many, many times. Sebastian Stan has said that. He lives in like a normal apartment, right? In New York City, okay? A normal apartment in New York City. He's pretty like no, quote unquote normal compared to like New York standards. I already told you what a penthouse in New York looks like. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this? You know, what are we talking about? Okay, the pricing structure is not real, y'all. I don't know how many times I have to say it. I'll show you different examples, but I'll keep showing it to y'all if you don't believe me. It'll keep popping out more and more. Okay, it's going to be more and more unbelievable. The more and more you don't believe me, it's going to be more and more unbelievable. You understand what I'm saying? You keep fighting back and saying, "Well, it's pretty clear to us. It was a typo or some crazy stupid shit like that." It's going to get more and more unbelievable to the fact that you're going to be like, "This game makes no sense. What's happening?" Right? And then you're going to be like, "Alyssa, help us. Alyssa, stop it. Alyssa, make it stop." I never Googled Hayden in my life, y'all. I mean, no, because you're already fighting back against that, saying she never Googled Hayden in her life. I don't think so. Why would I Google Hayden? I would YouTube him to watch his videos. Um, I might have looked up his birthday once, but I don't really. I'm not you know what I mean? I gotta like do things I don't want to do, get into celebrity gossip or whatever. Like he just comes on my TikTok FYP, it's, I don't know what else to say about Hayden. Like, like I don't sit there and Google like it's crazy. That's weird to me. That's weird. Like you want to like look up celebrity stuff and like Google their gossip articles, you know, instead of leaving people alone. That's why we're in the situation we're in. That's why we're in the situation room, right? It was a situation room last night. So, yeah, the pricing structure ain't real for houses, so it's going to spread out. That's going to spread out to other areas of life, and there's not going to be any logical reason as to why cheese is $100 when you go to the store. You know, why is the cheese $100 all of a sudden? And the next day you go there, it's 99 cents. You're like, what? I'm losing my shit. I'm losing my shit. You know what I mean? That's what you're going to be like when you go to the grocery store. You'll be like, I don't even know. Is it on a Tuesday? It's 99 cents. Like, I came here yesterday and it was $100. What happened? No, it wasn't. It was 99 cents yesterday. What? You're telling me I'm wrong, Becky? It's going to happen to you. It's going to happen to you and nobody's going to believe you. That's what's happening next. Okay, you heard me.